Hello, I'm Luis Rodriguez, North America editor at Labels and Labeling magazine, and I'm here with the Flint Group and a few members. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, Luis, and thank you for taking some time to meet with the Flint Group. I'm Donna Covannon. I'm the Director of Marketing for Xeikon, which is also known as the Flint Group Digital Team. So happy to be here.
Nice to have you.
Hi, I'm John Pogatschnik. Nice to meet you today, Luis. I'm the marketing manager for the Flint Group Narrow Web division in North America.
And I'm Karin, and I'm the marketing manager and communications manager globally for Narrow Web.
Nice to meet you both, and thank you all for taking the time to speak with me. It's a pleasure having you. So yeah, how about we just get started with a few questions. So for Xeikon, how has the adoption of digital presses been over the past year with the pandemic and everything going on? How has that been going?
So fortunately, well, we adopted at the end of 2020 with kind of taking on a virtual approach to meet with our customers and prospects, as well as arrange for a virtual presence at our innovation center located out of Chicago. And both, our customer base, our prospect base, as well as our sales team have adopted really well to that approach. So of course, we all know that labels were growing, and so our label printing business did in fact grow with a lot of our customers taking up having to produce more labels. So we were actually quite successful in increasing our sales not only on our toner presses but also our inkjet presses. And we continued to act as advisors to customers. We also got some new customers in that mix that were, I'll say, on the entrepreneurial path, where maybe they weren't in the label business or packaging business before, but for example with pouches and heat transfer saw an opportunity that perhaps in that particular geography their markets had an open opportunity, and they just seized it, and we were able to work with them.
It's very nice. It's very good to hear that the industry is still growing, even with everything going on, and people are still looking for presses and ways to innovate and change their business. It's always nice to see that. As digital presses become more prevalent in the industry, become more prevalent in the converter space, people are trying to switch over to different types of curing processes to make it a little bit easier. And that is with the introduction with the Flint Group's UV LED curing process, the dual cure inks. How do you see that changing the converter space? How do you see that accelerating the adoption of UV LED curing on the converter end?
Yeah, so the dual cure inks provide our customers, flexibility. LED curing technology offers lots of benefits around sustainability and using less energy to run the lamps, less energy to keep the lamps cool. They generate less heat, which is great. There's less hazardous waste with the mercury bulbs being eliminated. The problem, or one of the challenges I should say, with LED lamps and when you're converting is it's capital intensive, so it requires an important investment, and not all converters can take on that investment at one time. So one of the main goals of our dual cure technology is to enable or allow converters to complete that investment over time and separate the risk associated to an ink transition from that same time period, so they can adopt dual cure inks, use them under their current operation, and then change those lamps over as their project management capabilities permit, as their capital planning capabilities permit, and maybe to align with their sustainability goals, they can adopt those lamps across a single press or across multiple presses, and be able to manage that ink transition completely separately. So it's really, those inks provide flexibility. They also provide some reassurance if you do have LED lamps and conventional lamps in the same building. It could be on side by side on different presses. Those inks will cure on either press. So if the job has to switch last minute because a press goes down or something breaks, you can just take the inks over to the other press and run them. if there's a miscommunication between day shift and night shift, which can happen, and those inks end up on the wrong press, there's no risk of printing all the idler rolls on one press because we put the wrong ink on the wrong press. That ink will cure under either press. So flexibility, some troubleshooting, or some safeguarding. So those are kind of the things that we've built those products to perform.
And also, Luis, we have actually seen some indications from lamp manufacturers that the sale of LED lamps has actually increased since we launched the Dual Cure inks. So it is, in fact, working.
Nice. That's very cool to hear. Yeah. I mean, you always want a more safer, easier curing way to cure your inks. You don't want to use those mercury lamps all the time. It's hazardous to, it's just hard. It's a lot harder compared to UV LED curing.
Yeah.
So with this is a big change in the industry. Where are other places you see changes happening in the label industry right now?
Yeah, so I think one of I'll say, aside from COVID, one of the biggest macro trends is sustainability, particularly sustainability in packaging. I think packaging in general is under extreme scrutiny because of the perspective of single-use plastics, which is where packaging falls right in. And depending on where people sit, there's incredible advantages associated to plastics and increasing the longevity and lifespan of, say, food, so reducing food waste. But plastic packaging also ends up maybe in a landfill or in oceans or other dangerous places. So I think the packaging or the narrow web printing space has done an amazing job to take on sustainability as a challenge really to keep the sustainability of the packaging industry. And so some of the things that we're doing to support that is we have developed a new range of products that we've called Evolution coatings, and they're really designed to further enable packaging to become more recyclable and work towards a more circular economy. So we have an Evolution primer that's aimed towards recyclable shrink sleeves that allows de-inking of crystallizable polyester shrink sleeves so that they can go into the recycle stream with the polyester bottle and increase the yield of polyester flake as those containers are used and discarded in through the recycle stream. We also have on the other side, pressure sensitive label is a hugely important application in our industry. We have the Evolution caustic resistant OPV that's used to make sure when pressure sensitive labels end up in that caustic bath. And most all laminate suppliers now have substrates that are approved through the APR or recognized by the APR to be acceptable for the recycle stream. We now have an overprint varnish that helps keeps the inks locked down to avoid contamination in that process. So these two products have been recognized by the Association of Plastic Recyclers to comply with their critical guidance, which is a guiding principle in the packaging market, particularly the plastic packaging market. So we're really excited to be working alongside all of our partners in this packaging space to help us incrementally move towards a more circular economy. It's not something we can do in one step, but we see tons of changes in sustainability, and that's one thing that we're really excited to be talking about.
Very cool. Yeah. Anybody have anything else to add?
Yeah, I'll just add on the Xeikon side, so the digital printing side, same theme where people in fact are taking a look at how their labels can be more sustainable, or how can their labels stand out. And similar to the organizations and groups that John mentioned. So with our toner-based labels, first of all, our toner-based machines are FDA certified or Nestle certified for Europe and Swiss ordinance. So we have a very high standard, and we always keep above those guidelines to ensure that any printing that's done direct or indirect, again, is safe for the consumer, and also for the converter, right? That they can rest assured that the product that they're offering to their customers is very safe. There's an organization, it's called Ingede, that is responsible for that de-inking process for materials, and Xeikon participates in that. And then, aside from kind of the technical aspect, there's also what we're doing to help, again, our converters to stand out from the crowd. So there's embellishments. And, John mentioned about the sustainability. So his leadership team, in fact, will give a presentation at Label Congress on sustainability. And we've got a representative from Xeikon who will also talk about digital embellishment, because we want to make sure that not only can we produce the label safely, but we can add a lot of wow and pizzazz, right, to that label or to that package with digital embellishments. So to give that even more shelf appeal, knowing that given the growth with labels last year and continuing, that people do, right, converters need to stand out and differentiate themselves from other folks.
So looking towards the future, I know this is, we just kind of talked about that with what's happening, where the changes are happening, but what do you see for the future of the company? What do you see happening down the road? Big plans, big ideas?
We will absolutely continue on our work with sustainability. It's become so important to us because our end users, so our customers have high demands on this. So we can't just shut our eyes for it. We need to act, and we need to be able to deliver products to the end users that they approve of. So we work really hard on becoming a more sustainable company.
So on the Flint Group side, overall, we're always innovating for our customers. And even though, right, we've got the conventional customers on the narrow web side and the digital customers, I think converters can always rely on the fact that we are innovating in both of our respective spaces. And so we will continue to come out with announcements. I know we're going to talk about Label Congress in just a moment, but you will in fact see some new announcements from both sides of the company on that.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of the future, sustainability is obviously here to stay. And one of the exciting things about that is it's such a broad topic. And the narrow web, to me, the one reason the narrow web industry is so great is it's so entrepreneurial, and constantly people taking equipment and coming up with new solutions. And so the opportunity to work with converter customer partners really on new solutions and new applications, and how do we get this pressed to make a new package that doesn't exist today. I think that's one of the most exciting things that I think we do really well is working with customers. We have a press in our innovation center in the Minneapolis area that we get to use to research and develop on, but also bring customers in and take them away from their revenue generating assets and come develop on the asset that we have. So we welcome customers to continue to do that. And I look forward to the evolving sustainability landscape.
And I know the company is going to be coming to Label Congress at the end of this month. What can people expect to see from all of you, from the company coming to the first label focus show of, I mean, what was it, the past 2 years?
Yeah, so we've got a very nice space for people to look both at narrow web side and Xeikon side. And I think our space is about 400 square feet. As I mentioned, we've got representation from both of our leadership teams at the conference program, both on sustainability and on digital embellishment. And then I think people really are going to want to see what John was talking about in terms of the dual cure and the evolution. The display that he's got prepared, he and Karin have prepared, is really very visual and very hands-on. So it's not just your typical tabletop display. I think people really want to come over and take a look at that. And then on the Xeikon side, because our Chicago Innovation Center, our office, is actually 9 miles from the convention center, we're actually going to be shuttling people to our innovation center so that we can have that equipment demonstration and application demonstration right in our innovation center. And for those folks that their schedules might be a little tight, we can certainly get them in another time, but we'll also be broadcasting live from the Innovation Center in our booth. So I think it's going to be one of the better places to stop by at Label Congress.
Yeah, just to kind of elaborate on what Donna had mentioned, we'll have a couple different stations in our booth, one specifically for dual key inks. We'll have our latest innovations around shrink sleeves. We know anchorage is a problem, so we welcome anyone to come, challenge anyone to come see if they can destroy the label. And then, of course, we'll have our Evolution primer and our Evolution OPV overprint varnish on display to kind of show how they make an impact on the recycle stream so that labels can be more recyclable.
Nice. Very cool.
And Louis, I think what I'll do is I'll make sure to send you the link so you can post it in this video for people to sign up for the Innovation Center demonstrations. And also, I hope that people know that both Flint Group Narrow Web and Xeikon, as well as some other people, are in fact sponsoring the Joe's Live label reunion event on Wednesday night. So we look forward to seeing everybody that comes to Label Congress at that event.
I'm sure everybody's excited for that as well. Karin, you have anything else to add to this?
I don't. I think Donna and John summed it up excellent. I'm sure it will be a good show.
It seems people are very excited for it to finally see their, just everybody see people back in the world face to face. It's gonna be nice. Well, yeah, I really appreciate you all coming out to talk to us at Labels and Labeling. And yeah, I really looking forward to seeing what the company has in the future. It all sounds very exciting, and it's good to see what you all are very excited about it. So that means everybody else will get excited about it as well. Well, thank you. And yes, once again, I am Luis Rodriguez, North America editor for Labels and Labeling magazine. And if you all would like to say who you are just one more time for everybody.
Great. So again, Donna Covannon, Director of Marketing for Xeikon, Flint Group Digital.
John Pogatschnik, Marketing Manager for Flint Group Narrow Web, North America.
I'm Karin Albrektsson. I'm the Global Marketing and Communication Manager for Flint Group Narrow Web.
All right. Well, thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and make sure to click the subscribe button at the top of the screen. You can see more videos from this playlist by clicking the video on the right or click the video on the left to see all of our other videos.